Have you ever wondered why some people struggle to lose weight even when they seem to be doing everything right? They exercise, they cut calories, they skip dessert, yet the scale barely moves. The truth is, there may be a hidden force working against them, a biological saboteur quietly influencing every meal and every craving: insulin resistance. This condition doesn't make headlines as often as low-carb diets or superfood trends, but it may be the single most important factor preventing people, especially older adults, from reaching their health and weight goals. Welcome to today's episode of Senior Health. I'm so glad you're here because what we're going to uncover could change the way you look at weight loss forever. Insulin resistance is not just about blood sugar or diabetes. It's about how your body processes energy at the cellular level. And when things go wrong, the effects ripple through your metabolism, your energy, and your waistline. In fact, researchers at Harvard Medical School and the Mayo Clinic have long highlighted insulin resistance as one of the strongest predictors of weight gain, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Dr. Benjamin Beichman, a leading scientist in metabolic health, often calls it the root problem behind modern chronic disease. But here's the good news: insulin resistance is not a life sentence. By understanding how it works and by making small but powerful lifestyle changes, you can take back control. So, what exactly is happening inside your body when insulin no longer does its job properly? And why does it make weight loss so much harder for seniors in particular? Let's dive into the science, and I promise we'll keep it clear, engaging, and practical.
To understand insulin resistance, we first need to understand insulin itself. Insulin is a hormone produced by the pancreas, and its main job is simple yet essential. It helps your body move glucose, the sugar from food, out of your bloodstream and into your cells for energy. In a healthy system, when you eat a meal, insulin rises, glucose enters the cells, and your blood sugar returns to normal. But here's where things start to go wrong. Over time, if your diet is high in refined carbohydrates and sugars, or if you frequently snack, your body produces insulin constantly. Your cells, overwhelmed by the constant signal, begin to ignore insulin's message. This is what scientists call insulin resistance. The pancreas, in an effort to compensate, produces even more insulin, which can keep blood sugar looking normal for years, but behind the scenes, damage is brewing. According to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, or NIDDK, insulin resistance is a precursor not only to type 2 diabetes, but also to obesity, fatty liver, and even heart disease. Dr. Gerald Schulman, a professor at Yale School of Medicine, explains that insulin resistance essentially traps fat inside fat cells, preventing your body from burning it efficiently. That's why many people feel like no matter how much they diet or exercise, the weight simply won't budge. For seniors, the challenge is even greater. Muscle mass naturally decreases with age, and muscle is one of the body's biggest consumers of glucose. Less muscle means fewer doors for insulin to deliver energy. Combine that with a slower metabolism, and insulin resistance becomes a major roadblock to healthy aging and weight management. Understanding this mechanism is the first step to reclaiming control. But what's really driving insulin resistance in daily life? You might be surprised by the hidden triggers.
Now that we've uncovered how insulin resistance works, let's shine a light on the hidden triggers that often go unnoticed. Most people think it's just about eating too much sugar, but the truth is far more complex and far more surprising. First, let's talk about constant snacking. Dr. Jason Fung, a Canadian nephrologist and author of The Obesity Code, emphasizes that eating every 2 to 3 hours keeps insulin elevated all day. Even healthy snacks like granola bars or fruit juices can prevent insulin from ever dropping low enough to allow fat burning. For many seniors who were told to eat small meals often, this habit may be working against their weight loss efforts. Second, poor sleep is a hidden but powerful trigger. Researchers at the University of Chicago found that just 4 nights of restricted sleep could reduce insulin sensitivity by as much as 30%. This means that when you don't sleep well, your body struggles to use insulin effectively, pushing you closer to resistance. Third, chronic stress quietly fuels the problem. When stressed, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that signals your liver to release glucose into the bloodstream. More glucose means more insulin, and over time, the cycle contributes to resistance. Seniors dealing with caregiving duties, financial concerns, or health worries may unknowingly be stuck in this loop. And finally, hidden sugars in processed foods are everywhere, from bread and pasta sauces to low-fat yogurts. The American Heart Association warns that the average person consumes far more added sugar than they realize, often doubling or tripling the recommended amount. These triggers accumulate slowly, like drops filling a bucket, until the body can no longer cope. The good news? Once identified, they can be reversed, and science-backed solutions are within reach. Now that we know the triggers, let's focus on proven, science-backed solutions to reverse insulin resistance and finally unlock weight loss. The encouraging news is that researchers worldwide agree. Lifestyle changes can have a dramatic effect, even later in life. First, dietary changes are powerful. Dr. David Ludwig, a professor at Harvard Medical School, has shown in his research that low-glycemic whole food diets improve insulin sensitivity far more effectively than calorie restriction alone. Choosing foods like leafy greens, fatty fish, eggs, nuts, and avocados can help stabilize blood sugar and reduce insulin spikes. Replacing refined carbs with fiber-rich vegetables and whole grains is a small but critical shift. Second, intermittent fasting is gaining recognition. Dr. Jason Fung and studies published in the New England Journal of Medicine highlight that fasting periods allow insulin levels to drop, giving the body a chance to burn stored fat. Even a 12 to 14-hour overnight fast can make a difference for seniors. Third, physical activity plays a central role. Research from the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic demonstrate that both resistance training and aerobic exercise increase insulin sensitivity by helping muscles absorb glucose more efficiently. Just 30 minutes of brisk walking or 2 to 3 sessions of light weightlifting per week can yield measurable improvements. Fourth, quality sleep and stress management are non-negotiable. Dr. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist at UC Berkeley, reminds us that sleep is the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body health. Techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or simply spending time outdoors can reduce cortisol and support better insulin balance. Together, these solutions form a holistic approach, not a quick fix, but a lasting transformation. And when combined, they can turn the tide against insulin resistance, even for those who have struggled for years.
We've traveled from uncovering the silent saboteur of weight loss, insulin resistance, to exploring its hidden triggers and proven solutions. Now it's time to put this knowledge into action and map out your path to lasting health. The first step is awareness. Simply recognizing that insulin resistance may be standing between you and your goals is empowering. As Dr. Benjamin Bickman says in his book, Why We Get Sick,
The most widespread, underdiagnosed cause of poor health today is insulin resistance. And the good news is, you can do something about it. Next comes daily practice. You don't need a complete overhaul overnight. Start small. Replace one processed snack with a handful of nuts. Add one extra serving of vegetables to dinner. Take a 15-minute walk after lunch. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Each of these habits helps retrain your body to respond to insulin more effectively. Consistency is where the magic happens. Studies from the American Diabetes Association confirm that even modest, sustained changes can reduce insulin resistance within weeks. Over time, you'll notice better energy, easier weight management, and improved overall health. For seniors especially, this can mean greater independence, vitality, and a better quality of life. So, as we close today's episode of Senior Health, I want to thank you for investing this time in yourself. Remember, insulin resistance may be hidden, but it doesn't have to control your future. With knowledge, action, and persistence, you can turn the tables in your favor. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs this message, and don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed strategies for healthier aging. Together, we can build a stronger, healthier future.